Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel'S Mat Chat, and this is your episode 259 of my show. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. Happy Extreme Rules weekend. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm actually looking forward to it. Extreme Rules. I know. Crazy, isn't that? Something very like crazy that I'm actually looking forward to a WWE pay-per-view. Now, to be completely honest and transparent, this is being taped and recorded for on Thursday evening, almost Friday morning. I don't have the time to do this on Friday. I also have company staying with me, so I can't do this at my regular time, but I will be live right after Extreme Rules. Also, I am going to be doing the preview and predictions. So all this is going to be, I'm doing it at 11 o'clock. So you get a little bit of a head start. And on Saturday, it's going to be released at 11 o'clock, the preview and predictions. So you're going to get a lot of me. You're going to get a lot of me, and you're going to get it early. So yeah, this weekend is Extreme Rules. It's going to be great. Can't wait. And of course, I have to have a cold drink while I'm doing this, just to wipe the pipes and everything. I had a little bit of an adult beverage this evening with dinner. A great steak dinner with broccoli and some big biscuits. It was delish. My company loved it. And if you want to know, it's my mom's best friend. She's here for two reasons. My mother's funeral mass is on Saturday, and she's got her high school reunion on Saturday as well. So she's going to do something good, sad, and she's going to do something happy. It's a yin yang situation. So, but you know what we do here. I'm not going to be doing Monday Night Raw from this past week. That's going to be available on the preview and predictions at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. So look out for that. You know I'm going to do last week's Smackdown, this week's NXT, and this week last week's Rampage, and this week's NXT Dynamite. So I'm not going to stand in any way, but I do want to give you my thoughts on what's going on in the back of AEW. Tony, come here, bubby. Fucking put your foot down. All right? Put your foot down. Because let me tell you something. This is not going to work, and it's not going to end up good. You're going to end up out of business. Because you are a fucking mark. A mark is a fucking goddamn head of a company. It doesn't bode well. So grow the fuck up. So, all right, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. It's going to be a really nice weekend. So I'm going to get you in, I'm going to get you out, and get you on your way. And you know what we promote here. We promote Harry's, harrys.com. Go visit their website for all your toiletry and shaving essentials. Also, please go to Maestro Classics at maestrosclassics.com and go check them out. They have the best beard essentials. If you have a beard, go get it. Go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com and go check out their new 3 flavors, which are mango, orange, lime, and mixed berry. Also, please do yourself a favor and go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. They have the pumpkin now. They have espresso now. So go check them out. Also, please go check out HOG Wrestling and their next pay-per-view or event, which is, I think, September 29th. And it's going to be Exodus. So go check that out. Also, please go check out, if you're in the greater Pennsylvania area, please go check out Sanctuary and Outbreak Wrestling. Go find them on all social media platforms. Also, speaking of most social media platforms, please go check out my social media. Check out Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, Mel'S Mat Chat. please go check me out on Facebook and Snapchat. So let's get this party started. Let's go to Smackdown from last week. I gotta get my glasses because I can't fucking see shit. We go and we start off with SmackDown kicks off with an honorary Uce, Sami Zayn, making his way out to the ring to a huge ovation from the crowd. Soon followed by his tag team partner Solo Sikoa for our opening match. Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa versus Ricochet and Madcap Moss. Our opening tag team match begins with Zayn and Ricochet in a lockup. Then Zayn transitioned to a side headlock. Ricochet hits Hurricanrana and follows with a dropkick, and Madcap Moss tags in Zayn. Hits a drop toe hold to send Moss to the ropes, and Sikoa then tags in. Sikoa stomps Moss in the corner before Zayn tags in. Moss throws Zayn over the top rope, and Sikoa runs in only to be thrown out as well. Ricochet runs in to hit a dive over the top rope to take out Zayn and Sikoa. We come back from a commercial break. Sikoa having Ricochet in a headlock. Sikoa hits a Samoan drop and covers for a 2 count. Ricochet jumps to the middle of the rope and hits a missile drop kick. Moss and Zayn are both tagged in. Moss hits a fallaway slam as the crowd are very loud behind Zayn as they booed the move and the following corner spear. Moss hits a shoulder tackle to Sikoa to knock him outside. Zayn gets a roll up for a 2 count. Zayn hits a Blue Thunder Bomb as the crowd erupts in support of Zayn. Zayn climbs to the top rope and hits a crossbody, but Moss rolls through and slams Zayn to the mat. Moss covers, but Sikoa breaks the fall at a 2. Ricochet goes to hit a tope suicida to Sikoa, but Sikoa throws a chair at Ricochet's head, and the ref has his back turned. Sikoa makes a blind tag and hits a spin kick to Moss. Sikoa hits a spinning solo and it covers for a 3 count, and winners Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa. After the bell, Moss goes to attack Zayn. Quite the babyface, Sikoa runs to the defense of his older brother, and Sikoa takes out Moss, and Zayn raises his hand. Back live with Money in the Bank winner Austin Theory being interviewed. He said he's failed to successfully cash in at Clash of the Castle, but didn't fail as bad as Drew McIntyre did. Theory says McIntyre failed in front of all his family and friends. Drew McIntyre approaches Theory from behind, and when Theory notices him, McIntyre challenges Theory to a match right now, and McIntyre storms off to the ring.
But talking about Clash of the Castle, you know who embarrassed themselves more than I did? Drew McIntyre.
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, let's think about it.
So we go out to the ring, and we have Austin Theory versus Drew McIntyre. While Austin Theory is making his entrance, he signals towards the back, and out comes Alpha Academy to be in Theory's corner for the match. The match begins with Theory immediately runs to the corner. Theory hits a chop that McIntyre sells, and then hits a lariat to knock Theory down to the mat. Theory hits a drop kick, and McIntyre hits a future shock DDT. McIntyre signals for the Claymore, but Gable causes a distraction, and Otis grabs McIntyre and drags him out of the ring and throws him to the stairs, causing a DQ. Winner, Drew McIntyre by DQ. After the bell, Theory and Alpha Academy continue to beat up McIntyre before Johnny Gargano comes running out and tries to make the save, but the numbers advantage gets Gargano down. Kevin Owens then comes out running to the ring And together, Owens, Gargano, and McIntyre clear the ring of Theory and Alpha Academy. We go to commercial break. We have Hit Row versus Los Lotharios. The match begins with Angel slamming Ashanti to the corner, and Umberto briefly tags in to hit series of double team stomps before Angel tags back in. Ashanti hits a neck breaker and makes the tag to Top Dollar as Humberto tags back in. Top Dollar hits running splash to the corner and follows with a elbow drop. Top Dollar lifts both Humberto and Angel and slams both of them down, and Ashanti tags in and Hit Row hit the heavy hitter, and Ashanti covers for a 3. Hit Row picks up the win. We go to commercial break. We have Natalya versus Ronda Rousey for the upteenth time. I think Bruce was subbing for whomever was writing Smackdown. The match begins with Natalya immediately trying for a sharpshooter. After the takedown, Natalya then hits an ankle lock before Rousey rolls through to send Natalya to the corner. Rousey goes for a knee in the corner, but Natalya dodges and slams Rousey back down to the mat. Natalya goes for a roll-up for a 2, and Natalya goes for a sharpshooter that Rousey tries to counter into an ankle lock, but Natalya breaks free. Natalya eventually is caught in the ankle lock, and Natalya tops out. So much for being a member of the Hart family. She can't fucking get out of an ankle lock. Oh my god, she is terrible. Backstage, Kevin Owens is seen walking where he eventually runs into Sami Zayn. The two stare at each other before Owens tells Zayn he needs a new t-shirt before walking away. We go to commercial break, and we have Imperium making their entrance. Ludwig Kaiser gets on the mic to say that the presence of the Brawling Brutes is insulting to them. Vinci says Gunther is what a champion looks like, and Gunther says he will beat Sheamus for a final time, and he will break his spirits once and for all. Gunther is cut off by Sheamus, who comes out and says Butch and Holland are stuck in Florida tonight, but he is there tonight, and he's more than happy to talk on all three of them. Gunther sends Vinci and Kaiser, and Sheamus takes out both of them with a shillelagh before Sheamus gets in the ring to confront Gunther. Sheamus drops the shillelagh and begins to brawl with Gunther. Vinci and Kaiser run back, and they hold Sheamus' arm back as Gunther chops him into the corner. Gunther lays out Sheamus in the ring with a power bomb, and Imperium leaves as Sheamus is down in the ring. Sheamus grabs a mic as Imperium leaves, and Sheamus taunts Imperium. Vinci and Kaiser run back in the ring and beat down and hold Sheamus in place as Gunther hits Sheamus with a shillelagh, and Imperium then leaves the ring. Michael Cole on commentary officially announces professional wrestling legend Antonio Inoki has passed away. And I would like to offer my personal condolences to the Inoki family and friends, and I encourage everyone to pay their respects and honor the legend. Yes, he passed away. Bayley versus Shotzi. The match begins with Shotzi hitting a insecurity after Bayley taunts Shotzi. Bayley hits an arm drag and follows with a kick to the head. Shotzi climbs to the top rope, but Bayley rolls out of the way. We come back from commercial, back live with Shotzi hitting a running knee, then a forearm strike. Bayley counters and hits a rose plant and covers for the 3 count. And Shotzi has her tank back, TCB, taking care of business. We come back from commercial. We have Drew McIntyre, Johnny Gargano, and Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Our main event begins with Gargano and Gable in a lockup. Gargano hits a dropkick and follows with a Hurricane Rana. Theory tags in, and Gargano hits a spear through the middle rope. Owens tags in and hits a cannonball to Theory and Gable on the outside. We come back from commercial. Gable countering a dive into a suplex to Gargano. Gable locks Gargano in an ankle lock, but Gargano rolls through and tags Owens in, who hits with a lariat. Theory runs in and Owens hits a DDT. Owens hits Gable with a cannonball and then a swanton. Owens covers, but Otis runs in to break it up. Gable hits Owens with a German suplex. McIntyre and Theory both tag in, and McIntyre hits belly to belly throw and then a neck breaker. Theory rolls out of the ring to avoid a claymore, but McIntyre follows and throws him back in the ring. Otis grabs McIntyre and throws him to the stairs. Gargano top dives over the top rope to Otis and Gargano, and Otis hits a double super kick. Gable runs in to save Otis, but it is hit with a stunner in the ring. McIntyre hits Theory with a claymore and covers for a 3. Winners McIntyre, Gargano, and Owens. So that's it. We're going to move right on to NXT very quickly tonight. Advertised for tonight, the WWE Performance Center. We're back live, pal. What that very well could mean a new look to the PC. It will definitely give us a Toxic Attraction trios match as Mandy Rose and her gals take on Alba Fire, Zoe Starks, and Nikita Lyons. But that did not happen. Plus, SmackDown Brawling Brutes will be on hand. Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez will attempt to talk out their issues on Grayson Waller effect. Andre Chase versus Von Wagner battle for a spot in the Halloween Havoc's North American title match. Byron Saxon fills in for the honeymooning Vic Joseph. Congratulations to Vic Joseph and Megan Moran. Not Megan Moran. I can't think of his. It's not Megan Moran. It's not. So we start off with Wade Barron introducing commentary partners tonight, Byron Saxton and Sudha Shah. Pretty Deadly make their entrance to undermine capes, knee benches, breeches, and power wigs, and take the podium to set up the ring to address the NXT Commonwealth. They recounted their journey from UK to make NXT a better place, they say. They have Briggs and Jensen #1, which is 1-800-UGLY Denim, Idris Enefi and Malik Blade, or Sweater Vest and Oily Chest Man, are simply not good enough, and they're there and boring brothers. Damon Kemp might be closing the Diamond Mine doors forever. Skip the dyad because they creep Kit Wilson out. And Elton Prince says they have no choice. He bangs his hammer and calls for an order before decreeing, with no challengers in sight, Pretty Deadly shall be awarded the tag team titles forever. Amen. So the Brawling Brutes are here. They came out. Ridge Holland and Pretty Deadly have been talking tough about what happened to Sheamus on SmackDown. So they're here tonight to see how tough they really are. Pete Dunne asks the crowd if anyone objects to kicking the tag team champs' heads in and they get an affirmative from them. Pretty Deadly blamed Kevin Nash, Kevin Patrick, and Kevin Owens, but the Brutes rush the ring. Holland says they like to dress up and talk about how great they are, but all they ask is that they can prove it. Tonight, Tuesday, that means it's fight night. The Brutes attack Pretty Deadly and send them running. Carmelo Hayes and Trick William make their way to the ring. So we go to commercial. We come back. We see footage from earlier today of Alba Fire jumping Toxic Attraction as they arrived in the arena and driving away with Mandy Rose. Carmelo Hayes versus Aura Messiah. Hayes shoves Messiah, drawing at him, grabs an armbar, shift to a waistlock. Carmelo reverses, roll through and up kick, arm drag from Oro, back into a armbar. Hayes with a hair pull to break whip into the corner. Boot, back flip, drop kick, and Mensah is feeling it. Arm drag into an armbar, keeping Mello moving. Big exploder, suplex for two. To the apron. Hayes smashes his head into the post and then hits a slingshot DDT on the apron to well and truly cut off Aura. Off. Back in, cover for a two, whip across, duck under. Carmelo with a hot shot. Chop, roll through. Messiah blocks a kick. Schoolboy for a two. Basement super kick in return. Oro defiant, but he stands up right into a springboard lariat. Nope. Training strikes. Mensah blocks him into the corner. Back body drop, cutting Hayes down with right hands. A German suplex into a kip up. Rolling capo kick. Cabrata connects spinning heel kick, takes Williams out at ringside. Hayes with an ace crusher, then and then on up top. Carmelo Hayes wins by pinfall with the diving leg drop. Post match, Carmelo Hayes gets on the headset and disputes the notion he is on a losing streak. He said he's going to stay out here for now. Chase U makes their entrance and we go to break. Back from commercial, we see Brutus Creed getting checked out earlier. The medic refuses to clear him over his protest, and Duke Hudson rolls up and stirs the pot. He and Julius share some barbs and set up a match later on in the show. Andre Chase versus Von Wagner for a spot in the North American Championship qualifying match. Wagner with punches and a stampede out of the gate. Shoulder thrust, big back elbow. Chase manages to get a shot on his leg and presses and attacks with kicks under. He gets dropped with a lariat. Dragon screw stomps. Von counters with a high angled spinebuster. Hobbing over, kicks in the corner off the ropes. Andre takes his leg out with a drop kick. Right hand, whip reverse, side Russian leg sweep, and Chase is rolling. CHASEU stomps. Robert Stone runs interference, but Thea Hale gives him a piggyback ride and body slams him on the floor. Distracted, cheering his students on, Vaughn gets a kidney shot, but Chase gets a near fall off the roll up. Big boot, fireman carry. Von Wagner wins by pinfall with fireman's carry neckbreaker, qualifying for the NXT North American Championship at Halloween Havoc. Post-match, Wesley jumps Carmelo Hayes and they brawl until separated. Backstage, Sanga talks about match with Nathan Frazier and says if not him, he hopes Nathan wins the title at Halloween Havoc. Veer Mahan rolls up and looks at Sanga in the eye. Lash Legend walks and talks backstage to send us to break. Back from commercial, we see a man in a smiling mask handing out buttons to passerby when Grayson Waller rolls up. He gives the security instructions to keep Apollo Crews away from him and heads inside. Lash Legend versus Wendy Chu. Chu waiting in with forearms and punches. Legend with a knee. Wendy fires off a chop in return. Out in the back, Lash in control, a pigtail in hand, and as she chokes back Chu in the ropes. Elbow drop to the back. Cover for two. hard whip into the corner, and Wendy gets a boot up. Legend with a mat slam, elbow drop comes up empty, falling right hand from a desperate Wendy Chu, following with a kick and sweep, leg and sweep. Basement dropkick, cartwheel, back elbow to up top, missile dropkick, countered and recountered into a victory roll. So close, Chu sidesteps a boot and takes her out with a leg kick, going on top. Wendy Chu wins by pinfall with a Vader bomb. Wesley Lee is interviewed backstage. He said he wasn't sending a message but giving a receipt because Carmelo Hayes tried to end his career. He's going all out for the title, but he'd be lying if he wasn't out to give Hayes some trouble. Chatting Stacks Lorenzo rolls up to Chastity Lee for hurting D'Angelo, accusing him of doing it on purpose. We get a video package from Gallus promising they'll be back sooner rather than later. Toxic Attraction make their entrance and we go to break. Back from commercial, we get a video package from Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Where they talk about how unlikely their rise as a tag team was. They should have been a tag team all along. That's just me. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Starks versus Toxic Attraction for the number one contenders match for the women's tag team title in NXT. And I gotta put my legs up. Holy fuck. I'm going to probably put it down in about 5 minutes because it's hurt so badly. Lyons and Dolan start Gigi with a back elbow and a snapmare. Kick to the spine, but Nikita catches it and gets her up for an elbow. Tag to Jane. Lyons with a wrist lock and the tag. Collar elbow. Stark shoves JC away. Back to the lockup into the corner. Zoe breaks dirty with a shove. Schoolboy training quick pin attempts. Lyons back in and she overwhelms Jade and kicks her to the floor. Stark in to neutralize Dolan. We see the tag champs watching backstage as we go to break. Back from break, babyface team with some momentum. Stark kicking away at Dolan in the corner. Elbow, a low kick puts her on her knees. Zoe off the ropes, basement drop kick, cover for a 2. Tag to Lyons. Super kick assist. German suplex. JCJ breaks it up. Gigi and Nikita Lyons trading forearms. Dolan slips out off the ropes. STO connects. Tag to Jade. A kick sets up a net breaker. Stark breaks it up. Zoe with the tag. JC decks her with an elbow. Tag to Gigi. Stark hits the flipping neck breaker and a plancha. Tag to Lyons in the middle there. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark win by pinfall with the split-legged drop from Lyons on Gigi. Dolan becoming the number one contenders to the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. We get a video package from Ilya Dragunov where he talks about the agony of injuring his ankle and vacating the NXT UK Championship. We see Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez walking backstage to send us to break. Back from commercial, Grayson Waller is in the ring for the Grayson Waller effect. He welcomes us to the show and introduces his guests, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Cora asks Jade how many people she had to cry in order to get the rematch. And she says it was easy because everybody wants to see her kick her ass. Waller tells them to stop interrupting him and this is his show. Perez says she feels nothing and she's going into the match with no emotions, unlike at Heatwave. Jade mocks her for getting emotional, and Roxanne says This isn't a sob story, and they wanted to break into the WWE together and raise the bar together to be what the four horsewomen were to them. But as soon as Perez got a little ahead, Cora ditched her. Jade says after she beats her again, everyone realized that she's a whole lot of hype and not a lot of talent. Perez says Cora and her generation of Jade are full of shit, and Grayson um, abolishes. I think it's banishes for her language and for interrupting again. He's got two big scoops saying in 2 weeks they will be choosing each other's opponents, and the whole roster is fair game. Second thing, their match at Halloween Havoc is a spin the wheel, make the deal. Grayson wants to spin the wheel now and goes out of the ring to do it while security gets in the ring to keep Jade and Perez separated. Waller shies from the dark figure in a hooded robe and checks to make sure he's not Apollo Crews. He wants coal miner's glove match, but the wheel spins and it's a weapons wild match. Jade tries to attack Perez, but security separates them. Crews is here and he pulls Waller out of the ring and then under it. Grayson crawls out of the ring, his eyes bleeding like Apollo's vision. We see Julius Creed getting ready for his match as we go to break. The Schism are talking backstage to the person who is handling buttons out. Joe Gacy says he's not mad, he's just disappointed. And he says they need to be better. Duke Hudson versus Julius Creed. Creed is in hot, big spine buster early and sets him up. Julius Creed wins by pinfall with a falling lariat. Post-match, Damon Kemp rolls up to taunt the Creeds. Julius says he's ready to take him out, and Damon says Brutus is his bitch. And he says he is so confident that Julius does beat him at Halloween Havoc, he'll give Brutus another match under one condition. Brutus says he'll need 5 minutes and says he'll do it whatever it takes. Kemp said the stipulation is about his brother. He can't accomplish the things here if he's constantly looking over his shoulder. If he beats Julius is gone from NXT. Julius says pinfall by submission isn't good enough. He's got a stipulation, an ambulance match, first time ever in NXT. Kemp says that sounds great, and Creed tells him to get his shit together because he is waiting. We get JD McDonald video package for his end of the Halloween Havoc title match. Security man Hank Walker is backstage with his security pals, are talking him up ahead of his first match as a real member of the roster tonight. He said Xia Quinn ain't going to know what hit him, and Quincy Elliott rolls up to give him a heads up, and Quinn is probably pissed off, and we go to break. Back from commercial, Axiom cuts a promo about his final match with their best of 3 series. Hank Walker and Zion Quinn. Quinn overwhelming Walker out of the gate. Big back suplex for a deep 2 count. Headbutt followed with a whip cross. Hank explodes out of the corner with lariat and takes his shirt off. Luthez press into mountain punches, throwing corner for big lariat. Sidestep, a boot, hamstring kick, flying forearm. Xia Quinn wins by pinfall with a flying forearm. Post-match, Quincy Elliott makes the save and gives Hank a good friendly swat on the ass for a good measure. Cameron Grimes confronts Smiling Man backstage and tries to talk him out of helping the Schism when the Dyad attacks and beats him down, throwing him into a road case. They smash him with a trash can, and Joe congratulates Smiling Man on a job well done and welcomes him into the Schism tree. They all hug and leave together. The Brawling Brutes and Briggs Jensen are talking backstage, and Andris Anafi and Malik Blade roll up. They bicker about who deserves the next title shot, and Pete Dunne smashes a chair into the blockers and shuts everyone up. Ridge Holland tells them they have to be aggressive and serious if they want a title shot, and they leave talking about banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. Brawling Brutes make their entrance to the ring as we go to break. Back from commercial break, Braun Breaker is interviewed. He admits Halloween Havoc is going to be a dogfight. Javier Bernal rolls up and introduces himself and claims that Baron Brown has all the tools in the world except for his brains. Breaker says his temper got him into a first triple threat. His pride got into another one, into this one, and Javi stupidity is going to get him into a match against Braun next week. The Brawling Brutes, Pete Dunne, Butch, and Ridge Holland versus Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince, and Kit Wilson for the NXT Tag Team titles. Prince and Holland start side headlock from Elton, shut off big hip toss, boot up in the ropes, tag to Wilson, another hip toss for him, jawbreaker, overhead elbow, done in and grabs an ode to Jim Beaks on Kit and wrenches his fingers, bicep stomp, follows Wilson gets away, and Elton gets Butch isolated. Shut off, drop down, leapfrog, drop down, big elbow from Dunn, and tag to Holland. Stereo beats of the Batarang on Kit, and we go to break. Back from commercial, Dunn throwing elbows, trying to make a path to a tag, but he gets cut off again. Holland in after an exchange, slamming Elton into Kit for a deep 2. Prince gets an ankle lock. Ridge breaks it with kicks. Wilson tags in and grabs a sleeper, but Holland powers up and staggers to the corner for the tag. Done with a sunset flip, powerbomb, no good. Wrist clutch stomps followed, double wrist lock applied. Elton tries to save his partner and eats a stomp and an apron moonsault for his trouble. Back inside, rebound, German suplex, 1 for Prince, 2 assist codebreaker from the champs, but Holland breaks it up. Into some everybody do something cool territory, Holland sends Elton packing. Pete has the cross arm, but Prince shoves Kit to reverse it for a pin for 2. Wishbone, the fingers bitter end, too close to ropes, and Elton Prince puts Wilson's foot on the ropes. Ridge tags in, roundhouse, Emerald flowers in, but no pin because Imperium run in Brawling Brutes. Pretty Deadly win by pinfall with spilt milk on Ridge Holland to retain the NXT Tag Team Champions. Post-match, Ennis Elvafi and Malik Blade come down to issue a challenge with Briggs and Jensen on the other side of the ring issuing their own. That was the end of NXT. Let's go right into what is it called? Rampage from last week. This is still coming from in Philadelphia. Let's go right into it. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus the Butcher and the Blade versus the Acclaim, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Matt Hardy was backstage from and watching it on a monitor. Bowens tried to end it quickly with a backslide to Cassidy, but Cassidy escaped. Cassidy connected with a Hurricane Rana, taking Bowens off his feet. Caster tagged in and stomped on Cassidy. He followed up with a dropkick to Cassidy. Bowens tagged in and hit a backstabber on Cassidy. The Acclaim used their tandem offense on Mark Quinn until the Butcher and the Blade blindside the Acclaim, bludgeoning them with strikes. Private Party attempted the silly string on the Blade, but the Blade shoved them out of the ring. Butcher and the Blade double teamed Bowens in the corner. Bowens landed a thrust kick on Blade. Butcher ran to prevent the tag and hit a back body drop on Bowens. Mark Quinn grabbed a blind tag from Bowens and cleared house on Butcher and the Blade. Cassidy tagged in and nailed Blade with a poetry in motion. Cassidy smashed Blade with a senton for a near fall. Caster was there to break up the pin attempt. Butcher steamrolled Caster with a huge lariat. Isaiah Cassidy connected with a springboard on Butcher and the Blade. Caster dived onto a pile outside. Caster used the arrival on the Butcher, and Caster finished him with the mic drop for a pin. Nexi Lair backstage with the Firm, the Gun Club, insulted FTR and said they were going to leapfrog FTR and go straight for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Lexi Nair was backstage to interview TBS champion Jade Cargill. Vicky Guerrero interrupted, and her client Nyla Rose stepped up to challenge the undefeated Jade Cargill. The Firm, Lee Moriarty versus Fuego del Sol. Lee ate a thrust kick from Fuego. Lee landed a drop kick. Lee stomped a mud hole in Fuego del Sol. Lee used an arm capture into a suplex on Fuego. Moriarty applies the Border City stretch to Fuego, and Fuego tapped out. W. Morrissey entered the ring and chokeslammed Fuego del Sol. Speaking of Lee Moriarty, he is now engaged to Julia Hart. Congratulations, best wishes, and mazel tov. Lexi Nair was backstage with Hangman Adam Page, Evil Uno, and Ten. Jose, the assistant, and Andrade El Idolo interrupted Andrade's challenge 10 to a match next week. Andrade said if he beats 10, 10 must unmask. 10 replied, "Oh, on one condition. If I beat you, you leave AEW." That is canceled. That was canceled. Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter. Willow ducked a lariat from Jamie. Willow began to headbutt Jamie. Jamie got to her feet, but Willow knocked her down with a shoulder tackle and then a senton. Jamie rocked Willow with a high boot and then running knee strike into the corner on Willow. Willow pounced Jamie, knocking Jamie right out of the ring, followed up with a Death Valley driver in the ring for a near fall. Willow climbed to the top for a moonsault, but grabbed Willow's leg as the ref was distracted. Jamie smashed Willow with a short arm lariat and then pinned Willow. The Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth was in the ring and began to insult Philadelphia. What else is new? FTW champ Hook heard enough. Itch on my ear. And walked out of the ring. Hook clobbered Nemeth with a clothesline and locked in the red rum on Nemeth, choking him out. The Truthbusters placed an envelope on the ramp for Hook, which Hook snatched up before returning to the back. We have main event time. Dark Order, John Silver versus Roosh. Silver connected with a running uppercut to Roosh. Roosh walloped John Silver with a wicked right hand. Roosh splashed Silver in the corner and followed up with a drop kick to Silver's back. Outside the ring, Roosh whipped Silver into the ring barricades. Roosh nailed Silver with an elbow strike. Silver planted Roosh for a near fall. Silver hit Roosh with a stiff kick. Roosh fired back with a thrust kick of his own. Roosh followed up with a Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count. Roosh and Silver slugged it out in the center of the ring. Roosh rocked Silver and got the upper hand. Silver rallied back with a brainbuster for a near fall on Roosh. Jose jumped onto the ring apron, but Reynolds pulled him back down. Silver was distracted by Andrade, and Roosh blindsided Silver. Roosh finished off Silver with a bullhorn, pinning him. Andrade continued to the attack on Silver and Reynolds after the match until Evil Uno and 10 sprinted to the ring to even things up. The Butcher and the Blade ran down to help Andrade. Hangman Adam Page hurried to the ring and blasted Jose with a buckshot lariat. Hangman had his sights on Roosh. Tony Khan made it official, and it was announced that on Dynamite it will be Roosh against Hangman Adam Page. Speaking of Roosh, he is now all elite. We're still trying to figure out if it's Bandito. Dynamite is being taken place at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C. MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. William Regal joined the broadcast booth for this match. 129 days since MJF last night, and he is here back in action on Dynamite tonight, said Excalibur. Yuta clubbed away at MJF in the corner and then followed up with 2 arm drags. Yuta started to mock MJF. MJF grabbed Yuta's waistband and drove him into the turnbuckles. MJF hit a gut wrench suplex on Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler fired back with a series of German suplexes. MJF caught Yuta in a powerbomb Yuta into his knee. Wheeler came back and cracked MJF in the back of the head and with a kick. Yuta and MJF exchanged pinning attempts and then took each other down with clotheslines. Yuta climbed to the top rope, but MJF threw his body weight against the ropes, knocking Yuta onto the turnbuckles. MJF attempted an avalanche tombstone piledriver, but Yuta escaped and chomped down on MJF's forehead. Yuta hit a massive hurricanrana and then followed up with a tope suicida to MJF. Yuta has momentum, says Taz. Yuta rocked off the top rope with a diamond splash to MJF for a near fall. The fans chanted, "This is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome." Yuta hit MJF with a hammer and anvil elbows. Yuta was looking for the seatbelt submission, but MJF reversed it. The transition into Salt of the Earth armbar. MJF tried to touch the ropes, but then MJF flipped over and modified Salt of the Earth. Wheeler Yuta was forced to tap out. After the match, Wheeler Yuta attempted to shake MJF's hand, but MJF thought about it, but then Lee Moriarty jumped into the ring and blindsided Wheeler Yuta. MJF yelled at Lee, "I didn't tell you to do that." Stokely Hathaway handed the Dynamite Diamond Ring to MJF. William Regal put on a pair of brass knucks and met MJF in the ring. The firm retreated, leaving Regal and MJF alone in the ring. MJF thought better of squaring off with Regal and walked out. We have Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal. Oh, my back is killing me today. Ugh. Jay Lethal hits Darby with a dropkick into the knee. Lethal kept working over Darby's knee. Darby countered with a suplex with a scorpion death drop. Darby and Lethal on the turnbuckle, but Lethal used an avalanche dragon screw. Lethal followed up with a figure four, wrenching back on all of his weight, keeping the pressure on Darby's knee. Darby found the strength with a code red on Lethal for a near fall. Lethal got jarred, said Excalibur. Sanjay Dutt and Sanaman Singh walked onto the ramp, seeing Lethal was in trouble. Lethal told them to get in the back, saying that he didn't need them. Darby reversed a cradle attempt by Lethal with the Last Supper, finishing Lethal. Sanaman Singh and Sanjay threw off Lethal's attention, said Taz. Darby forced Lethal to shake his hand after the match, and Lethal finally obliged. TNT Championship Open Challenge match. Mr. Mayhem Warlow versus Machine Brian Cage. I want to comment on this. Um, a little bit of a thirst trap in that match. Holy shit, the meat was flying. Cage fired shoulders into the midsection of Warlow. Warlow muscled the machine into the turnbuckles. Warlow and Cage slugged it out in the center of the ring until Warlow used a hurricanrana to take Cage off his feet. Warlow intercepted Cage and slammed him. Warlow used a belly-to-belly suplex on Brian Cage. Warlow went up to the top rope, but Cage kicked him down. Cage suplexed Warlow back into the ring. Warlow escaped a drill claw attempt and crashed with a spinebuster for a 2 count. Cage and Warlow wind up lariat scouted. Cage kicked Warlow for a near fall. Warlow headbutt Cage and then took Cage off his feet with a wind up lariat. Warlow powerbombed Brian Cage. Warlow powerbombed Cage a second time. Warlow hit a third and a fourth powerbomb and then pinned Cage. Wow, said Shivani. What an explosive battle, replied Taz. The Gates of Agony and Khan rushed to the ring to punish Warlow until Samoa Joe sprinted down. The Embassy had the numbers advantage, though, and they swarmed Samoa Joe. FTR's music hit, and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions FTR joined the fray, even up the odds and for Samoa Joe and Warlow. What a quartet of talent, Warlow, Samoa Joe, and FTR, said Excalibur. Somewhere in Greenwich, Connecticut, or Connecticut itself, Triple H is fucking smiling away. His 3 fucking kids. It's amazing. Earlier in the day, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, had an important announcement for her fans. Saraya will not be competing in AEW. The doctors have not cleared her to compete, so I guess that makes it my house now. AEW Interim World Champion Toni Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter, Penelope Ford, Serena Deeb, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMT. Okay. Athena tripped up Penelope and blasted her with a shotgun dropkick. Penelope rammed Athena into the corner and followed up with a back-spinning elbow. Deep tagged and ate a dropkick from Toni Storm. Toni used her hip attack on Deep. When Storm was distracted, Deep took down Toni with a chop block. Willow tagged in and hit Hayter with a spinebuster. Rebel grabbed a crutch from beneath the ring, but Saraya pulled it away and threw it down. Willow hit Deep with a pounce. Penelope Ford ran in and rocked Willow with a back heel kick. Willow rallied back and walloped Penelope with the Dr. Bomb for the pin. Britt Baker jumped in the ring and got on in the face of Saraya. Baker and Saraya slugged it out until Saraya bounced Baker out of the ring. Saraya is just exploding on the scene here in said Taz. I think Soraya is in pretty good ring shape, said Shivani. It was time for the National Scissoring Day celebration with with AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Acclaim, Platinum Man Caster Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn. Bowens' Daddy Loves to Scissor, Washington, D.C. Welcome to the very first annual National Scissoring Day. It's a very special night, and it's brought to you by the Acclaim, the most popular tag team in all of professional wrestling, the winningest team in all of AEW history, the best damn homegrown team in all of AEW history. And today it was official, thanks to one of you. Our t-shirt is best-selling AEW t-shirt this year, and we brought some gold, and now AEW stands for Acclaim Every Wednesday. Now it's cause for celebration, and celebration by scissoring. The Sultan of Scissors. Scissoring is a handshake. It's a sign of friendship. The people want to celebrate by a real team, not a team thrown together like Swerve and Keith Lee. Swerve, this isn't your house. Billy Gunn, this is Daddy Ass's house now for everybody in the building and the millions of people at home. It's National Scissoring Day. I was sent down to City Hall today and asked if I would present you guys with this. Billy handed them with giant gold scissors. Caster, as National Scissoring Day comes to a close, I want to talk about the greatness. About 40 years ago in this city, Washington won the Super Bowl. My dad was on the championship team, and the Super Bowl ring is his prized possession. He achieved greatness just like the Acclaim greatness, and we won the tag team titles. Swerve Strickland music hit and walked onto the ramp. Swerve, this is the most idiotic thing think I've ever seen. Congrats on your number one selling t-shirt on AEW.com. These are the role models you want for your children. If it wasn't for Billy, we'd still be tag team champions. Next week in Toronto, it's going to be Swerve against Billy one-on-one. Smart Mark Sterling interrupted and walked into the ring. Sterling, you need to beat me. You need to beat Swerve because you can't do it yourself. Let's join together and let me represent you against your fight against Swerve Strickland. Billy, the Acclaim, nailed Sterling's rejection, his offer. And then Billy Gunn accepted Swerve's challenge for the next week in Toronto. Tony Schiavone was backstage with Madison Rayne and Blue Sky. Anna Jay and Tay Mello interrupted them. Anna Jay and Tay challenged Madison and Sky to a match on Friday, and Madison and Sky accepted. Adam Hangman Page versus Roosh with Jose the assistant. Roosh and Page traded stiff chops. Hangman was looking for a buckshot lariat, but Jose had held Page's boot. This gave Roosh enough time to rock Page with a strike, sending Page to the arena floor. Roosh wrapped a TV cable around Hangman. Next, he sent Hangman crashing into the steel barricade. Back in the ring. Hold on. Hangman caught Roosh and tossed him with a fallaway slam. MJF was seen watching backstage, clutching his giant poker chip. Page caught Roosh in midair and dropped him hard with a Death Valley driver. Roosh reared back and hit Hangman with a forearm. Jose interfered again and grabbed Hangman's ankle. Roosh used a straitjacket pile driver for a near fall on Page, but Hangman battled back with the buckshot lariat and then pinned Roosh. Private Party walked down to the ring to confront Hangman Adam Page. AEW World Champion Jon Moxley came down and Private Party bailed. Moxley, I've been waiting for this for 3 years. 3 years of AEW Dynamite. 3 years of watching you. 3 years of studying you. 3 years of us circling each other. Between the two of us, we've beaten just about everybody in AEW except each other. On October 18th, there will be one last man standing here in AEW. In 13 days, Cowboy, I'm going to leave my house, show up at the arena, and I'm going to break your face and choke you until you turn blue. Because you're in the way of me being the one top guy here in AEW and the world champion and the best in the world. I have all the respect in the world for your abilities and talents. I've admired you, a person, but when that bell rings, I don't have any respect for anything. Hangman, if you've been waiting for this for so long, where you are going right now? Mox, you're a sweet kid. Your mouth is going to get you into trouble. This is your final warning. Watch your damn mouth. Tony Schiavone backstage with Willow Nightingale. Willow, at the Battle of the Belts, I want a challenge for the TBS Championship. Jade and the baddies crashed the interview. Willow said Jade can't win forever. Luchasaurus versus Fuego del Sol. Fuego charged at Luchasaurus, but Luchasaurus spiked him with a chokeslam. Luchasaurus planted Fuego with a cutthroat and pinned him. Jungle Boy ran down to the ring and cracked Luchasaurus with a chair to Luchasaurus's ribs. Jungle Boy, look at me. You were my best friend in the entire world. After everything we've been through together, you chose him. And you broke my heart. But now I'm going to break your fingers. I'm going to break your nose. I'm going to break your arm. I'm going to break you piece by miserable piece until I break you. You pick the time, you pick the place, I'll be ready. Christian Cage, I told you not to come back here this week. Jungle Boy, the time is next Wednesday, live, Dynamite. The place, my hometown, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Wow, they've agreed to it, said Shivani. Ring of Honor, Pure Champion, Daniel Garcia, American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus the Ring of Honor Champion, Ocho Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara. Oh boy, he thinks his shit doesn't stink. But Andrade is trying to get fired, and I don't understand why Tony Khan just doesn't release him. It's ridiculous. If you don't want to be in AEW, you don't have to be. It's very simple. Okay? Sammy tagged in Garcia, drop-kicked Sammy's leg. Danielson tagged in and used flurry of kicks on Sammy. Danielson flew at Jericho with a tope. Sammy and Danielson went at it in the ring, with Sammy using a Spanish fly for a near fall on the American Dragon. Jericho tagged in and Sammy double-teamed Danielson. Garcia grabbed the tag and Jericho and had a stare down. A hockey fight in the center of the ring, said Excalibur. Jericho and Garcia exchanged strikes. Garcia suplexed Jericho. Garcia locked on the Dragon Tamer. He's got Jericho all tied up, said Excalibur. Sammy interfered and Sammy nailed Garcia with a thrust kick. Sammy was looking for the cutter, but was baited in by Garcia. Danielson dropped hammer and anvil elbows on Jericho while Garcia did the same to Sammy. Sammy fired back with a standing Spanish fly on the American Dragon. Sammy tried for the GTH, but Garcia blocked it and stuck Sammy with a pile driver. Sammy peppered Garcia with elbows outside the ring. Jericho suplexed Danielson on the timekeeper's table. Sammy cracked Garcia on the side of the head with the GTH. Sammy attempted the shooting star press, but Garcia blocked it with his knees. Garcia blocked in the Dragon Slayer in the center of the ring. As the ref was distracted, Jericho nailed Garcia in the head with the ROH World Championship. Sammy covered Garcia for the pin. So that is that. Next week they're going to be in Toronto. So that is that. What I think about this whole thing with Andrade, he wants to go and be with his wife. Let him. You know, if he has a downside guarantee contract, give him the downside. Get him out of there. He wants to go back with Papa H and with his wife. So be it. It's ridiculous. So that is that. I'm going to get out of here because I will be back here on Saturday with preview and predictions. Get my thoughts on Extreme Rules. You will get the go home shows of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on the preview and predictions of Extreme Rules. I want everybody to have a great Saturday. I am going to be, by the time this comes out, I'll be on my way to Jones Beach to finally allow my mother to go free and say goodbye to her officially on Saturday. I want everybody to go check out harrys.com. Visit their website for all your toiletry and shaving essentials. Go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Get all your beard essentials, and they have great merch there, so go check that out. Also, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Check out their 3 flavors on top of their regular seltzer water, and their mountain water is lime, mixed berry, and mango orange. Also, please go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Get their 2 new products, which are espresso and their seasonal pumpkin coffee. Also, go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. Exodus is coming up. I believe it's on September 29th. And go check that out. If you get tickets, go to hogwrestling.net. And while you are in the greater Pennsylvania area, go check out Sanctuary and Outbreak Wrestling and check them out on the usual social media. Speaking of social media, check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Mel'S Mat Chat. Please go check out Facebook and Snapchat. So have a great Friday. I'm going to go have a great Friday. I'm going to enjoy, SmackDown. I'm going to spend time with my mom's friend. She's in here for the memorial service, and she's got a high school graduation to attend to, reunion. So I'm going to go and hang out with her. I am seriously going to enjoy that, and I will be back here on Saturday at 11 a.m. for the preview and predictions. Right after Extreme Rules goes off, I'm going to go live with the review, and then for episode 260, it will be on a Friday live at 2 p.m. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Extreme Rules, and I'll see you when I see you. I love you all.